What is going on, my fellow Jedi and Padawans? Welcome back to another Jedi gaming video. Thank you guys so much for coming back to the channel, and if you guys are new, welcome. Today we're going to be taking you through a nice Prismatic Relativism Hunter build for the Foetracers, as well as this bad boy does have the Star Eater scale spirit on it as well, so our super is going to do extra bit of damage, as well as getting that damage at ×4 boost for surges on both our strand and arc weapons because of the abilities that we're going to be using, and we can use different supers depending on the encounters you are going into. So first off, we got ourselves that Spirit of Foetracer. Like I said, damaging a power combatant or guardian with an ability grants temporary bonus damage for weapons matching that ability, so ×4 weapon surge with those if you're doing damage with your melee, grenade, even something like on this hunter with our Ascend or our Threaded Spectre also proc that Foetracer. Spirit of Star Eaters is our other one. While our super is full, picking up those orbs, overcharging our super, allowing it to do more damage, so we're going to be using our Silk Strand for the ad clear sections, or even some parts of like dungeons, the first section of the Sunder Doctrine where you got to go back and forth between the rooms. You can smoke a lot of that with the Silk Strike, and then the other one that I would go with is something like Golden Gun, so you can do a little bit of more damage on other things like bosses, the Shriekers in the dungeon, etc. Moving on to our Prismatic Hunter that we got here, like I said, Silk Strike or Golden Gun, usually the two that I will be using on this build. We got ourselves Gambler Dodge, so when we do use Ascent now, it is going to proc our Gambler's Dodge as well as Threaded Spectre over here, so we're going to be able to proc both of those. And like I said, Threaded Spectre going to be able to give us strand weapons with that ×4, as well as our Threaded Spectre. Same thing with our Arc Bolt and our Ascension right here, so stacking it up into being able to jolt targets and everything like that, especially with Bolt Charge this episode, because it's pretty disgusting. Now when we move on to our Fragments, I'm going to be using Facet of Balance, so defeating targets with light or darkness is going to grant us that energy or grenade respectively. Facet of Awakening, defeating targets rapidly with light, dark, or super, generate elemental pickups, so a lot of ionic traces, as well as a lot of those tangles being spread around, sever, unravel, everything like that. We're also going to have Jolt being going on with our grenade, just another aspect that we're going to be able to do on those arc debuffed targets because of our aspects, Fragments, as well as our artifact. Facet of Protection right here, we're going to do a little bit of less incoming damage on us just because of that beautiful protection, and Transcendent makes it even better. Facet of Honor, collecting those elemental pickups, Transcendent energy is going up, as well as Tangles also grants us that Transcendent energy, so pretty solid for the Prismatic side of it. And then our Arc Solar Void abilities do increase damage to targets affected by that darkness debuff, so we're going to have Unraveling as well as Sever on this build, like I said, so our Arc Grenade as well as our Ascension is going to do more damage. Plus when we switch over to Golden Gun, we can throw our melee at a boss or something like that, smoke it with Golden Gun, and the extra bit of damage that our Star Eater scales on the exotic class item is going to do. When we move on to what we have on this build, mods and stat wise, I built it out definitely for resilience for that endgame. I wanted mobility decently high so we could use our Ascent, Threaded Spectre, etc. And then I did want Discipline up there so I could throw that grenade as much as possible and get the Jolt going on and get those weapons to have that ×4. Now I did go with Harmonic Siphon on this bad boy as well as Arc Siphon, so we could get both of those granting us some orbs of power. We're going to lose that Harmonic Siphon on Strand when we do switch to Solar. Not really a big deal, so you could throw on something instead of that, like giving Radiant Light powerful friends. But we also threw on Heavy Ammo Finder so we can continuously have our heavy up. Impact Induction, Momentum Transfer, basically we're going to get our melee down when we give damage with our grenade, and then vice versa, doing damage with our melee is going to give us our grenade, so positive feedback loop right there. Dungeon that I was in, totally up to you, but whatever activity you're going into, throw on what type of damage you're going up to, helps a bunch. If you're not doing that, definitely something you should do. Recuperation, Orbs of Restoration, and then Absolution right there. I just had a little blunder speech-wise, but that's okay. We got ourselves Orbs of Power, giving us all our abilities, our ability with the least amount of energy, and then a good amount of health. I shouldn't say a good amount, a nice little chunk of it is coming back when we pick up our orbs. And the best part is when we use our class ability, which not right now with Ascent powerful attraction isn't working, but when we dodge around, it's getting fixed in a little bit as well. Soon enough, it'll be working, but dodging around in general with this build is going to give us all of those orbs attracted right to us. Outreach, we're going to get our melee back when we dodge, as well as Reaper, just helping us to create more orbs of power. This will definitely help us as well when we're on our solar subclass, and this harmonic siphon goes away, and we throw on something like the powerful friends for that solar side of things when we're using Golden Gun. Onto the weapons that I used with this bad boy. I went with the scatter signal on this with overflow controlled burst, pairs well with that damage boost we're getting on the strand side. We're going to have unraveling rounds and sever on just in general. I guess unraveling rounds on this, severing because of our Prismatic Hunter, but we're going to get that ×4 damage boost because of our Foetracers. We're going to have a Brigand's Law, a Feeding Frenzy Volt Shot on this with that heavy ammo finder enhancement, so we can keep our Thunderlord up because this is juice and damage right now with that Bolt Charge. Absolutely disgusting right now. Plus, we're going to get Particle Deconstruction to proc with the Scatter Signal, and all these we're going to have Overloads Unstoppable right here with the Scatter Signal, and then Anti-Barrier with Brigand's Law. So we got all three of our champions that you can go into that endgame content and absolutely dap them up. Onto our Tablet of Rune right here. We got ourselves the Unstoppable Fusion Overload Machine Gun, as well as Piercing Sidearms. Overclock and load while we're amplified or have bolt charges. Our arc weapons gain increased handling and reload, so Brigand's Law as well as our Thunderlord. We're getting that unraveling rounds, like I said, on our Scatter Signal, because picking up orbs of power or all the tangles that we're going to be creating with our melee as well as our weapon in general, going to create us those unraveling rounds. Hold the line right here while surrounded that machine gun. Our Thunderlord is going to do some nice final blows that heal us, as well as gain increased reload and stability again. So Thunderlord absolutely juice this season with the artifact as well. Dielectric, defeating debuffed arc targets grants us Bolt Charge, and like I've said in a lot of stuff this season, or episode I should say, Bolt Charge is super disgusting, especially when we pair it with this flashover right here, because the lightning bolts from that Bolt Charge do more damage and also make us amplified, so feeds right back into everything that we're using with this build. Horde Shuffle right here, defeating unraveled targets, generate threadlings for us, so with that we're going to be able to have threadlings on this build as well, creating even more tangles, just feeding back into this build again. Finishers on those powerful combatants are going to spawn a special ammo. That's why I had a heavy ammo finder on our helmet, so we could use this dreadful finisher right here to get us back some more special ammo. We got that particle reconstruction, like I said, dealing sustained damage with fusion rifle that we got on Scatter Signal is going to give us that damage for a short period of time, so we can absolutely juice some bosses, do a little bit more damage in that endgame content. You know what I mean? Definitely helped a lot of people get through that contest mode in the Sunder Doctrine, and then once I get it, I'm definitely going to go with heavy ordnance regeneration. Dealing sustained damage with that heavy machine gun is going to grant us damage resistance so we can stay alive, as well as increase our grenade and melee regeneration for a short period of time, so we can get that grenade and melee back very quickly. Once that's unlocked, I'm halfway there. Just need a little bit more of my seasonal or weekly challenges, I should say, to be completed, and I'll have that. But once that'll happen, we're going to be able to do a bunch of spamming, if you will, with our abilities, which will again give us that ×4 in damage with those weapon surges for strand as well as our arc weapons. So it is a very fun build. You can do a good amount of DPS with it, if you will, especially with Thunderlord on. You get a bunch of different debuffs going on with the Jolt, with Sever, with Unravel, with all the Bolt Charges going on. We're getting Tangles and we're getting Threadlings on this build, creating a bunch of different things with that Threaded Spectre. It pulls the enemy's vision away from you so you can stay alive as well in that aspect. With the Ascent, we're going to get a good bit of amplification, Bolt Charge, and it jolts targets. I really do like Ascent this season. I feel like it is better, especially with the Gifted Conviction for sure, but even on a lot of my Prismatic builds, I've been throwing it on just because it feels pretty solid. So definitely, hunters, try this build out. It was getting me through the dungeon with ease. Like I said, get you into the Nether through it without that health regeneration. You just got to watch out, play it a little bit safe depending on what you're going into, if you're going in alone, something like that. But hope this build does you right, treats you right inside of that content. We got a lot more coming out. God rolls here, big week ahead just in general for me, so hopefully I'll be able to still crush out about 5 videos next week as well. That's my goal, is about 5 videos a week. So again, appreciate all you guys for coming back to the channel. Means a lot to me, means a lot to the channel. Don't be afraid to like and subscribe, slap that bell. Once again, helps me out, helps the channel out a bunch, and you guys will get those notifications on the channel for all these builds, god roll guides, etc. So love y'all. Join the Discord if you haven't already. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.